so it's actually not been that bad. I'm a comedian, and I'm used to touring and doing a lot of work, so this is actually comparatively easy compared to what I'm kind of used to doing. So I don't know, it really sort of bugged me that there weren't a lot of funny, strong women on television, and I just took it upon myself to change that. I'm definitely tired, if that's what you're asking, but thank God for coffee and Ambien. You guys have Ambien in Canada? Good. Okay. You have good health care, I know. I know Michael Moore. I know what's up. You guys are a rowdy bunch. Rowdy bunch here.
The Ambien.
I thought I was tired. Yeah. Do I call on people?
I'm over here.
No. Okay. Hi.
Hey,
Okay.
how are you? I was just wondering, in your stand-up act and touring and stuff, you certainly are not shy, and in terms of the subject matter and language, etc. Just wondering about the challenge of sort of taking your humor, putting it into a network sitcom form. Obviously, you still want it to be edgy, but there's obviously things that you can't do in this show that you would gladly do in your stand-up act. So I'm just wondering how you find that balance and still want to make it edgy and funny.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a great question. I actually never thought I would do network television because there are so many constraints and restrictions and things you can't say and can't do. But, CBS and NBC, who are the people that made it, the states have been so supportive about me doing sort of what I do and pushing the envelope, because I think a lot of network televisions are starting to, especially now the cable shows, are sort of taking over, and people are really responding to edgy and fresh and provocative and untraditional. They, in order to compete, have to be a little bit edgier, so I think I'm benefiting from that, being able to go further, and they've been really, really supportive of that. I mean, as you saw in the pilot, I'm in a nurse costume, and my camel toe is out, and it is, do you guys know that term in Canada? No? Okay. Google that later, that's your homework. So they were really great about, I think that for me, my whole point was, like, there's nothing on television that really reflects my generation's experience in terms of what we're going through dating-wise and with sex and stuff like that, and they were really supportive in letting me sort of do what I want to do. I'm not trying to be too edgy for the sake of being edgy. Certainly things I do, like my specials and the Comedy Central roast, the idea is to be as edgy as possible, and I wanted this to be sort of a little more, relatable and real without just trying to be shocking for the sake of being shocking, so I think I found the perfect balance, and I'm really benefiting from the fact that we're in a time where network is having to compete with the really edgy cable sort of shows. Is that coherent at all? Okay.
Hi Whitney, how are you? Just wanted to say that I really enjoyed the pilot. All the ladies in our office are just laughing.
That means so much to me that women love the show. That's the most important thing.
And you talked about creating something for smart, funny women. What do you think smart, funny women in our age generation want? And why did you think a couple in a 5-year relationship provided like an interesting point, like a comedic point to base a show around?
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, for me, like in most shows, at least in American television, the women don't ever have the ball. The women are always sort of the one-dimensional, hot, they're the backboard for the jokes or the setup for the jokes, but they really, there's Lucille Ball, and there's Tina Fey, and there's Kristen Wiig, and some of them, but for the majority of the shows on TV are written by men. Therefore, I don't think a bunch of men are sitting around being like, oh, I really want these women to shine and be hilarious, So when a woman writes a show, I think it's a little bit different. I think that smart, strong women who I'm surrounded with now, because I would watch TV and see all these sort of like one-dimensional women, and I was like, I don't know anyone like that. All the women I know are strong, and they have great jobs, and they make their own money, and they're independent, and they make their own choices, and they're brass and cerebral. And so to me, it was really important to explore the idea of women making their own money now, so not needing to get married and being able to choose when they want to get married. And I know statistically in the United States, women are waiting longer to get married. We're getting married later, and if at all now, and because we don't need a man to support us. So that was really interesting to me, of sort of the choices that we have and the new sort of power that we have in that realm. And I also come from a divorce in my family, which I think a lot of people do, and sort of what that effect has on us now in terms of our sort of like reservations and skepticism about divorce, and also just sort of all the stuff in terms of what the internet is doing with what our generation knows. I mean, Sandra Bullock got cheated on, so like what does that mean for the rest of us? And sort of the doubts and the concerns that we have, and what it means to say like, no, I don't want to run down the aisle at 23. I want to explore my options, and I want to I'm sexually curious, and I sort of want more for myself, and that sort of, I want to be a slut. I broke them. See that? I broke